MMO designers. Let's take our last call. Crimson Tinted from Gilgamesh is hanging on the line. Crimson, what's going on?
Hey guys, how you been? Long time no speak.
Hey, thanks for calling Limit Break Radio.
What's up, Crims?
Yo, what's up, Joe? Anyway, so what I wanted to talk about was sort of an overall impression I've been getting after about a year or so of feeling bored with 14 and looking towards other MMOs to fill needs and gaps that, are created by 14 for me, right? And I look around and, I listen to y'all's discussion and, I go on Reddit, God help me, and, look at, people bantering back and forth about their, what they like better about MMOA or MMOB.
Right.
And mind you, I've been playing MMOs since Ultima Online day one. Okay, I've seen the Golden Age come and go. I've seen the different kinds of players that have showed up. I've watched the people that have made these games figure out different ways to monetize their MMOs. Mm-hmm. And I guess what worries me the most is that it feels like as an MMO player that I have less of a voice or less of a ability to influence the makers of these games to actually implement the changes that people are discussing than ever before. And I do wonder, as MMO communities, as we continue these discussions, for lack of better verbiage, what's the point? Like, Square Enix has started to, as an example of 14, lock up a revenue stream with the cash shop, where they got a bunch of people that showed up at Stormblood,
sure,
buying hundreds of dollars of cash shop items, and they, like you said before, and they were like, why does my subscription matter less than that guy, right? But honestly, he's made Square Enix more money. So I guess my main question to everybody here is, what can we do as a community, as a player base? What can you folks do as folks with an audience on the stage, right? What can we do to actually influence these publishers to start implementing some of these changes, or are we just going to be stuck as a player base, essentially MMO hopping, to the end of time?
Crimson, thank you very much for the call. We really appreciate it. As always, it's great to hear from you. But I actually think that this is a really great point to kind of end the discussion on here.
It is
like, well, what do we do as fans of MMOs? Are we sort of entrenched in our separate camps? And I mean, because now every company has an MMO or is developing an MMO. There's so much choice when it comes to the world that you want to adventure in, and very few people are like dedicated, like, I only play MMOs, like, you know what I mean? Like, there are people who, I think the majority of gamers have an MMO that they play, and then they have other video games that they also play. And I think when it comes to, do developers even need to listen to their player base, I think that we're probably in an era where no, they don't, and it makes me sad to say that, right?
Well, I think it'll probably depend on like a company to company basis.
Because it's sort of like if you don't like it, go play WoW.
Well, yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, you can take that approach.
Right. World of Warcraft changes its content and whatnot to sort of serve, I think, the player base. But as Joe was saying with Black Desert Online, they know what they're about and they know what their players want. So is Black Desert probably ever going to change? Well, no, it's not.
Well, it's a little bit different because I gotta, right now they're doing that with, they say they know what they want, and they're actually destroying the population of the current player base, which is like, for a long time they've done well, I think, making a good game, but like very recently it comes into a very tough, like, I hate to interject because it's like off topic, but like in the last 2 months they've destroyed the active player base of the game so much to, like, it's either because they're trying to scale it or they're going to undo it, or they're trying to literally send the game to console, because like, I know at E3, you guys should be checking this out, they're going to be demoing the console version of BDO on Xbox. So like, they're trying to dumb the game down for console players, and then it's just going to become another Terra.
Gross.
Which is what it is. But like, it's I just had to say that about BDO. Like, I don't want you guys to think I'm saying like the BDO community knows what the fuck they're doing in terms of like the development team.
Okay, fair enough.
Give their game. Yeah.
And when it comes to being receptive to feedback, I mean, you just look at the FF14 community. That for as great as we think our suggestions probably are, there are probably, and I would hazard to guess that there are a variety of answers that Square Enix would give as to why that's not possible, or that would be counter to their game design. Why it would do more damage in the long run than it would to do it the way that they're doing, right? Like, I think that it's listen, making an MMO is tough. You're not going to satisfy 100% of your audience. You can't. You'll never be able to do that. And there's frankly a lot of voices in the FF14 community that have very strong opinions about the direction that they want the content to go. So I think what I would say is, like, yes, while I do have a platform, I don't know that makes my opinions any more valid than any of your guys's, right? Like, the official forums, like, it's a democracy. Right? Like, they're not making the game for me, just like they're not making the game for you. They're making it for what they think is their ideal audience, or the widest possible audience. From a business standpoint, they kind of have to do that. And I'm willing to give them that wiggle room. I'm willing to give them that benefit of the doubt. And like, I understand that there are very practical reasons but behind the decisions that they make, but that doesn't preclude me from offering my opinion on it either. So when it comes to what can we do to make them listen to us, just keep talking. Like, never shut up. That's what I think the answer is even if you feel disheartened,
we are never shutting up.
Don't stop providing feedback and criticism, because even if it's wrong, even if it's off base, it's out there for the creator to listen to and judge and decide whether or not that's a good idea for them. And that's, I think, the best that we can hope for.
It's well said, man. I agree on a lot of the points. I think, number one, like, thank you, Crimson, for asking this question, dude, because it's such a brilliant question right now in 2018 to say, like, what do you do as an MMO fan? Like, what is the right thing to do? And I think if I was going to try to answer that question, in my personal opinion, you got to kind of take a step back from MMOs and actually ask yourself, like, why am I playing video games? And for me, that answer is for fun. So if I was going to make any type of encouragement or give my opinion on answering that question, to be very honest, it doesn't matter what game you're playing. It doesn't matter when you're playing it. What matters more than anything else is who you're playing that game with and whether you're having fun. Like, you might not like Star Wars: The Old Republic. You might not like Elder Scrolls. You might be a fan of WildStar, and that might not be the popular opinion. But if you find yourself having fun in that game, it doesn't really matter what anybody else says on a forum, what anybody else says on Reddit. If you find yourself having fun with the people that are surrounding you in that video game, continue to have fun.
Yeah.
But be very aware of where you decide to who and where you decide to spend your money. Because when you do decide to spend your money, you are making an investment into that video game.
Yeah.
Or into that community. And that's what's going to make the biggest difference in the long run of whether that game survives or not. The only thing you can do, again, is talk about it on a forum, and decide to invest your money in it. Like, I would love to be able to say a tiny bit about, like, Bless Online right now, where everybody in the freaking world thinks that that's going to be a game it's going to be a game changing game. It's new WoW killer, blah blah blah. And it's simply a game that came out in 2011 that's unbelievably overhyped. Yeah. And it brings nothing new to the system. And everyone who's playing that game who spent $150 is dramatically defending their ego.
Wait, what?
And defending their money and hard-earned investment, defending their thought process. If this game fails, then I'm an idiot, and you might be. Yeah. But at the same time, that doesn't take away from the fact that you might be able to have fun playing Bless with your friends.
Right.
Because that's what's more important, is you can go into that game and create your own community and have fun. Like, I might go play WoW. I might go play Final Fantasy 11 for fun. And that doesn't mean I'm not going to have fun. Right. So you got to be very aware when you go out and say, hey, is this game worth my money? Is this game worth my time? Can I have fun playing it? It's different from like when games used to come out, you never were able to even talk to a developer. Like there was no communication. There was literally no way for a developer to even hear your voice. So again, with the systems like Reddit and YouTube and Twitch, like people do get a chance to have their voices heard in some capacity. So like that's why I love LBRs. No matter what, I'm gonna hear what you guys have to say, dude.
Right.
I'm gonna hear what you guys have to say at the end of the day.
And the thing is, we on the show know that we have a specific set of opinions, which is why we open up our call line. I understand, saying like, dude, just go start a podcast about it. That's what you got to do to fix the game. Just put your opinions out there. We did that. We've done that. We've done this podcast for now 4 fucking years, and Square Enix has never taken an iota of suggestions that we've put out there.
That's not true.
But
male bunny suit.
But
you're welcome.
But the thing is that doesn't preclude us from putting those opinions out there, because we do see the ripple effect of talking and having these discussions with the community, because there is, for as much as people want to bash on the FF14 community and how, whiny we can be, at the same time, there is a strong contingent of players out there who want a more compelling game and aren't afraid to offer their opinions about how to get there. And, that I think is an interesting conversation, and why we continue to do this show. And I think this entire conversation today has been fascinating. By the way, thank you very much, Crimson Tinted, for that call. We appreciate it, and we appreciate all of our callers here on Limit Break Radio. Limit Break Radio is not just an opportunity for us to voice our opinions about this game. It's an opportunity for you to voice your opinions about it as well. And we hope that you guys take that opportunity to make your voice heard, because we do know that Square Enix does listen to the show. It is someone's job that they have to listen to the show, I think. So, make Square Enix do their job, because we can't make them, develop compelling content that we want. We can make them listen to your opinions on a podcast. So, make sure that you take the opportunities that you are presented with to make your opinion heard, whether it's on your own Twitch stream, whether it's on a show like this, whether it's on a forum. And I think that Joe's suggestion of voting with your feet, knowing the power of your dollar, and knowing exactly the worth that brings, to a game like FF14 that has a subscription model. Everyone who pays that subscription, even though they're not compelled with the content, sends a very confusing message to Square Enix and makes them think that they can get away with not trying as hard with their content development. That, I think, is the answer to that at the end of the day.
Exactly, man. That's like, it's so crazy as a streamer to say, like,